Everything we see around us is not as it seems. That is one of the messages that we're coming to learn through these practices here on ReWired. You are on day 15 of ReWired. Welcome. If you've just come upon this video, this is 365 days of daily practices for the spiritually curious high achiever to rewire your mind for miracles, co-creation, purpose, true presence. And what we have come to so far is really starting to recognize that what we see may not be the whole picture. In fact, it is not the truth. Our thoughts are not what we see in front of us, what we see around us. We are not seeing reality. Everything we see, the images that are coming into our eyes of the world around us, is colored by our thoughts and the perception that we have, the stories that have been built. And one of the things that we come to learn through these daily practices, through becoming more conscious, is that we can choose our thoughts. And by that, we get to choose our reality. Today is day 15. Welcome to those of you who have been on the journey. Again, thank you. Thank you for your commitment and your devotion. If you've just come upon this video, I'm Jamie O'Connor, and I am your guide on 365 days of daily practices for the spiritually curious high achiever. This is called ReWired, and we're on day 15. So today on day 15, we are recognizing that we are taking in images of the world that is colored by the perceptions, the stories, and the thoughts that are going through our minds. The way that I see a piece of chocolate may look very different from the way you see a piece of chocolate, depending on the thoughts that that piece of chocolate is being filtered through. You have the power to choose your thoughts. When we come into the full present moment, when we exist in presence, we are existing in love. When we are not there, we are existing in separation. When we are fully present, when we were operating from the place of seeing love, from seeing God through our eyes, we don't have the sense of separation. That is what we're starting to rewire our brain to see and feel and experience. This is going to take time. We got a whole year of practices. So don't worry if it feels strange or uncomfortable at first. Don't worry if you feel like you don't quite get it right. You will have plenty more chances. And we're not meant to get it right most of the time. That's part of our experience here on earth as humans. It's part of what we get to revel in the joy of. Our gorgeous chaos, our perfect imperfections. And the way that we perceive and experience the world around us gets to be as we choose when we start to become conscious. And when we start to find moments of deep presence. Today, we're going to take a few different practices and just notice the thoughts going through your mind. Again, we're doing this practice because we are starting to recognize that we see the way our bodies and minds function slightly incorrectly. We don't always recognize that we have an operating system that can be upgraded. Just like your computer. The computer continues to exist, just like your eyes, ears, mouth, the way your fingers touch. The actual hardware stays the same, but the way the information operates through it and comes through and out, that can be upgraded. That's what we're doing here. We're recognizing that the way that we see is based on a program from 1995 in the sense of computers, maybe even 1975. And if computers existed in the 1800s, that would actually be more accurate. So we're upgrading. And the first step to upgrading is to be aware and notice and start to accept that you can choose differently. When you look at the piece of chocolate, do you feel guilt and shame for wanting to eat it? Do you feel a deep desire for the taste of the chocolate on your tongue? Are you brought back to a small memory of eating that type of chocolate with somebody that mattered to you? These are all the thoughts that go through our head with one simple thing. It's by noticing those thoughts and then deciding, could I choose a better thought? Sometimes the thought that goes through your mind serves you, and that's beautiful. Sometimes we may want to choose a better thought, a different thought, one that serves the direction and the vision that you're going on. Especially if you have this call to do something with your life. Is that thought serving you? Is it holding you back from where you want to go? There's no shame in it. It's okay. It's all part of the programs that exist. And we accept that we can change the programs. Many spiritual teachings talk about this idea that negative thoughts create negative experiences. Positive thoughts create positive experiences. However, it is not that it's attracting negative experiences. It's the lens through which you're viewing them, the images you're creating of the experiences. Everything that is here has a purpose and a meaning for you. You didn't attract a negative experience. However, you can take a difficult experience and create incredibly positive outcomes when you start to harness the power of your thoughts, of the images that are created from these experiences, and recognizing that when you're in deep presence, in the present moment, right now, experiencing it without a need to place previous programming and stories on top of it for what it means or what it's going to create for you in the future, but experiencing it in this moment right now, which is what we're training our brain to do. We can experience it from a place of deep love. And the more that we experience life from a place of deep love, the more we experience life from a place of deep love. It grows So you're not attracting negativity by having negative thoughts. We are rewiring our brain to experience everything we experience, good or bad, from a place of love. From a place where we can see the miracles in everything, where we can see the synchronicity everywhere around us, day by day, one small practice at a time. Okay, so find a place to get yourself comfortable and start to take deep breaths. One really deep breath in all the way, sending that breath to the location you're connected to the ground, to the earth, in whatever capacity, sensing and feeling the weight of that connection, and allowing your breath to release for twice as long as you let in. Allowing yourself to take as many breaths to allow your body and mind to sink into a place of deep relaxation, of presence. Allowing the tongue to relax down the back of the throat as you take those deep breaths in, and allow the breath to come out twice as long as you take your breath in. Connecting to the place inside you that feels a sense of love. And as you become quiet, just notice anything that comes up. And as any thoughts arise, start to see the thought for what it is, a thought. And say to yourself, this thought creates the images I see. If you'd like to label the thought, you can do that, saying what it is. Do this a few times. And then ask yourself, can I choose a better thought? And allow the mind to become quiet and see what arises. No need to do this for more than a minute. If you struggle to find any thoughts that arise, you may open your eyes and look around instead. And you can say to yourself, this object, whatever the object, place, person, is an image I have made. So these are two ways of this practice today. You're welcome to do either. The second version is a lot easier to do out in the world. So again, this object, whatever it is an image that I have made. This house is an image I have made. That person is an image I have made. And notice any thoughts that arise around that image, that thing, that place, and quietly ask yourself, can I think a different thought? Can I think a better thought? And again, no need to do this more than 3 times today for a minute or so. And that is it. Thank you for showing up today. Day 15 of ReWired. If you have stumbled upon this video somewhere out on the internet, or the audio, please feel free to join us for 365 days of daily practices to help you rewire your brain for miracles, specifically for the high achiever who's spiritually curious. You can get daily reminders as well as additional resources for a very small amount. Just go to the link inspiredfocus.link/rewired. I'm Jamie O'Connor. I'm your guide. I'll see you tomorrow for day 16.